we have discrimination laws, or they're called equality laws. It's the Equality Act in Great Britain, which is really a discrimination law, and the idea is that we are not to discriminate, that same-sex people in relationships should not have anything, they should be completely equal, nothing should go against them, not religion, not our conscience, whatever it is, yeah? So, and there's one dangerous fact in these discrimination laws, also as we have it in Germany. It's also called equality treatment in Germany. If you bring a charge against you, I say you are discriminating me, I used to have to prove that this is what you are doing. Now I can say you are discriminating against me and you have to prove that you are not doing it. Transfer of the burden of proof. This is very serious because we used to have a very good legal system. So if you say my rights are violated, you have to prove that I violated your rights. Now you could just concede, and I have to prove that I didn't do it. How can I do this? Yeah. So this is a very serious change of our law system. Now we see that these discrimination laws are being used against people who articulate the values which have been valid for a long time. Yeah? If we speak out, if we say we do not want to have these children books in kindergarten, we do not want our children to be taught that there are different kinds of sexual orientations, they are all equally valid. We do not want to have homosexual couples come into schools and teach puberty boys how to come out. If we speak out against this, we are taken to court. We are criminalized. We lose jobs. We might even have to close down our businesses. Many cases like this in the United States, like a bakery refuses to bake a cake for a same-sex marriage, on which you have to write, we are for same-sex marriage. They demand that they give that affirmation. They say, I'm sorry, you can have the cake, we bake the cake for you, but we are Christians, we cannot put this on the cake. Consequence, they have to close their bakery. Yeah? A huge hype arises, a huge campaign arises, at the end they have to close their bakery. Or a church, a same-sex couple says, we want to have our party in your premises. They say, it's fine, have your party, but we can't do it. We are Christians, we have a different concept of marriage. They are forced to do it. If they don't do it, they're closed, or they lose their public funding, or they lose their tax exemption. Many ways of doing this. What is at stake is the freedom of conscience that is essential for the whole Western tradition of law and constitutional law. The freedom of conscience, because we believe we have conscience inside which tells us this is good and this is bad, and we have to obey it. If a doctor says, I cannot kill a baby before it is born, my conscience tells me I cannot do this. They must have the freedom not to do it. In many states now, this is at stake. They are not allowed. They cannot become gynecologists because they have to practice abortion in their exams to become a gynecologist. Yeah, that's how they do it, step by step. There is a European website. It's called Intolerance Against Christians in Europe. And you find thousands of cases like this. In my own book, I have a chapter which deals with this case, with all this. This is my whole impetus. It deals with the new totalitarianism which is upon us. All this is becoming totalitarian. We are not respected as parents. We cannot practice our religion freely, our right of conscience, our right of free speech, our right of coming coming together, having our meetings and so on. Basic democratic rights are being under attack and are being reduced or even taken away. And I've grown up in freedom and democracy for all my life. I'm alarmed by what is happening. We know our history as Germans. We know communist history. We know what happens if we do not respect fundamental rights of human beings. And I want that these rights are respected. The good news is that resistance against this whole ideology and this new totalitarianism is rising everywhere. There are mass demonstrations in European countries. There have been millions of people on the streets in France against same-sex marriage. This January, millions of people on the streets in Rome in Italy. Italy was the last country in Europe which did not have civil union nor same-sex marriage. In both cases, the left-wing chancellors or presidents used their power to nevertheless force the legislation into the country. In France, in Italy, in Spain. But many people have woken up. They have spoken out, and that is important. Yeah, it is important that we become clear, that we become courageous, that we open our mouth, that we defend our rights. And there are many organizations and movements. I meet them in many countries who do that kind of work. I've been invited here to Taipei and Hong Kong by the people who lead this battle, wonderful people who say, we have the courage, we must do something about it. We want to protect the family, because we all want to have a family. Everybody wants to have a family. And everybody thrives if we have a good family. So people engage in it. And we have to do this work independently of whether we will be successful or not. The power and the money is on the other side at the moment. But nevertheless, we engage in the battle and we feel good about it. We know we do something good. Our children will be proud of us that we have done this work. They will say, well, my father and my mother, she was on the street. She invested her energy, her free time, her resources in this battle. They will be proud of us. And we ourselves know it is good what we are doing. We are following our conscience. And it has a price, and we have to do this battle now, because we can be sure the price rises. But on the other hand, we don't know what the overall development will be. As Christians, we believe that we will win that battle. Not we, but Jesus will win this battle. And this is the source of our hope and the source of our strength and the source of our commitment.